So welcome to our English classes, my dear students. So we have been learning about the successful stories of some great failed persons in this world. Until now we learned about Abraham Lincoln, Walt Disney, Wright brothers, Lee De Forest, Sanders, and also Thomas Edison, and about their lives and how they failed in their lives. And we also learned about the quotation, wonderful quotation of success given by Napoleon Hill, who said that whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, the man can achieve. So we can achieve anything according to not only, so it is a definition given by Napoleon, but we can see in everybody's life about this. So we are coming to the far end of the lesson. So at the end of the lesson, we see a small conversation between an young man and Socrates. So it is about success. So everybody wants to get success, but only few people are able to achieve that success. So when you feel or when you see others getting success in their life, you want to know what is the secret of success. For example, if Kohli is batting centuries, doing centuries in his career, so as a cricketer, if I have the passion of becoming a cricketer, so simply I approach Kohli and request him to tell the secret of his success. Being a cricketer, he only can tell us the secret of success. So if we want something, we should approach the persons who are getting success in their life. So like that, this young man also approached Socrates. So who is Socrates? Socrates is a great philosopher, and he prepared some excellent persons like Aristotle and also many Plato and other great scholars in this world. And he approached that great man and requested him to tell the secret of success. So Socrates, if you learn about Socrates' life, he's a very practical man. He used to teach his students only through question-answer method. So if you ask him a question, that fellow will put you some other questions to make us to give the answers for the question that you put to him. So that is called a practical knowledge. A practical knowledge will be with us forever. Whereas if you by heart some answers, if you mug up some answers, that can be understood only for a short period or for a temporary time. But if you learn the things in a practical way, so we can understand the concept throughout our life. So he's a practical person. So as per the history, so he even done some experiments on his own life when he was put in jail. He was doing an experiment on poison, and he made all his students to sit around him and taught them and told them how the poison is working on his body. He kept the poison in his body and started explaining his students how the poison is working and functioning on his body, at what time, what organ was getting infected. So in such a way, he used to educate his students. That's why we see some great students came out of his life. So here we find a small conversation between an young man and Socrates. This young man approached Socrates. In the last class I explained the concept, but today let me revise you for the sake of further progress in the lesson. So he went to Socrates and requested him to tell the secret of success. Sir, could you please tell me the secret of success? Yes, of course, I am a successful person. He is not telling these things with proudness. Yes, I know the secret of success. If you also want to know, I am ready to explain it. Great people never hide anything from them. If they know something, they are ready to shower on others, just like rains. So that's why we compare these great people with the rain. So how the rain is showering entire water, the great people also try to shower entire knowledge. You should approach them. You should fall on their feet and request them. So really, if you have the passion of getting success, we should approach the real persons, real teachers in our life. So this young man also approached Socrates and he readily accepted to tell the secret of his success. So what will be the secret of success of a man? We know, except our hard work, there is no other shortcut for success. If I tell it directly, the person may not understand it. Oh, you are hiding something from me. So you are not telling the secret of success. You know some mantras. So we may feel like that. We may get some misconceptions about the persons. That's why here Socrates simply asked that person to meet him near the river. So early in the morning, both of them met at the river, and Socrates asked that young man to come along with him. And he walked towards the river, and the young man also slowly walked behind him towards the river. So Socrates reached up to the water came to his neck level. So when water came to their neck level, suddenly, all of a sudden, Socrates pushed him or dumped him under the water. He ducked him into the water. So all of a sudden, if a person is ducked into the water, they won't get the oxygen properly. So when you won't get proper oxygen, the person may turn blue. The same thing happened here for the young man also. He struggled a lot. He flipped his hands and legs, and he even scratched his Socrates' hands and even tried to bite his hand, because when you are in the water, when you are struggling for your life, somehow you want to come out of the water in order to get some oxygen. So why do you need oxygen? We need oxygen to maintain our life, to protect our life. So protecting our life is more important than respecting the great people. Here Socrates is a very great person, and he is a very honorable person. He is a great philosopher. We know everything. But when there is no security, when there is no protection to your life, you just think about your life. And protecting your life will be your main target. This young boy also did the same thing. He made his level best to come out of the water. How much he is trying to come out of the water, so much Socrates is trying to push him down the water. So here we find the two contrary things. The boy is trying to come out of the water, and Socrates is pushing his head under the water. So finally, this fellow is about to turn blue. So about to die means when you don't get proper oxygen supply to our body, automatically our body turns blue. So it is a somewhat dangerous situation. So when he was about to go into a problem, then Socrates slowly pulled him out of the water. So there, let us see. Socrates pulled his head out of the water, and the first thing the young man did was to gasp and take a deep breath of air. So when he came out of the water, what did the young man do? He didn't think about other things. He simply started inhaling some oxygen. He started gasping. Gasping means opening the mouth and taking as much air as possible. Now, oxygen or air is more important for this boy to maintain his life, to protect his life. So he started gasping. What did the young boy do is to gasp and take deep breath. He took deep breath like that. And Socrates asked. So he waited there patiently. Socrates observed the movements of this boy. And he was observing the feelings and also the condition of this boy. So without questioning anything, he stood there. After the boy took some air, and when he's all right, when he's okay, then slowly he asked him. What did Socrates ask him? What did you want the most when you were there? When you were under the water, what did you want the most? So did you think about jewelry? Did you think about success? Did you think about knowledge? Did you think about other things? So what did you think more when you were there? The only reply given by boy is air. Sir, I thought only about air. I thought only how to come out of the water and take deep breath. I didn't have any other idea except having a deep breath and air. So do you have any other idea at that time? When you are about to die, we think only about our life. Do you think about others? Do you think about riches? Do you think about knowledge? No. Those things will never enter our body. So when it is a matter of your life and death, when it is a life and death question, so we give utmost importance to our life. We not even think about our traditions, or we not even think about any other things in our life. They may be very valuable things in our life. Money is very valuable. Your traditions and your customs are also very important for us. But when you are about to die, you think only about the necessary things in our life. So here, what is the necessary thing for this young man? Air. That is very important. So that's why he thought only about air and how to come out and take that air. So how badly he needed air at that time. Next. Yes. So the boy replied, air, Socrates said. So that is the secret of success. So that is the secret of success. How badly you wanted to have air when you were under the water. In the same way, you should also think about your success. You should also think only about your targets and achievements when you are desiring to have such things. So if you have a target, if you have some goal, so you should not think about any other thing in your life except the target. So wherever you go and whatever you are doing, your concentration, your thoughts and your deeds should be only on your target. So then only you become a successful person. That is the secret of success. Never mind about other things which are not at all concerned with your targets or goals. So when your concentration, when your focus is only on one thing, so when your focus is on only one thing, and definitely one day or other you will be a successful person. So that is the secret of success according to Aristotle. So what he is asking all of us, so we should have only single-mindedness, a single-minded desire. So don't try to do, so I want to do that thing, sir, I want to do this thing, sir. It is just like traveling on 2 or 3 boats at a time. Putting 2 or 3 swords in one pocket. So that is, we may get success not in a definite way, but the success won't be definite for you when you think in a divergent way, when you think in 2 different ways. So your concentration, focus should be on only one thing. And you should always think about that thing. That is called burning desire. So that is what we discussed in the last class. So burning desire is very important. If you have that kind of burning desire, so you can't be without achieving the success. So the success will be ultimately yours. Yes. So we all know that necessary is the mother of invention. You should also feel that your goal is very necessary to your life. So if you casually take some decisions, I want to become a teacher, I want to become a doctor. So I didn't get seat in medicine, that's why my father joined me in some other course. So I want to become a great actor. So then why did you become an engineer? So because I didn't get any opportunities. So opportunities won't come to you. So we should search for the opportunities. So nobody is born with opportunities. They are searching for opportunities. Sander, he searched for the opportunities. So nearly he knocked 1,000 doors to get his first chance to sell his first product. Walt Disney also searched for his chance, and when chance came to them, they never missed that opportunity. So if you sit in your house and want success, how can you get it? No, utilize your opportunities. And if your desire is so strong, so you can't even waste a second in your life, and you can't even think of a failure in your life. So that's why every person should have every person should have a burning desire in their lives. So a burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment, success. It is the beginning stage of your success. How strong your target is, how strong your wish is, so that will decide your success. Simply if you take some decisions for the sake of your parents. So my father asked me to do engineering, that's why I joined in engineering college. Nowadays we see in many movies about these common dialogues. So cinema is entirely different from our real life. So don't always try to combine the cinemas with our real life. So they are just for fun, entertainment. But in real life, if you want success, you should work hard. And to make you to work hard, we should always have a strong burning desire. Then only you can prepare your future landing on a stable stone. A burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment, success. So just like a small fire can't give you much heat, a weak desire cannot produce great result. A weak desire cannot give you great result. So if your desire is weak, if you don't have any sense in your desire, by seeing others, if you take MPC group, or by seeing others, if you want to become a doctor or an engineer, how can you become? First of all, you should have an idea of becoming a doctor, or have an idea of settling in a particular profession. Just by following, it is not an imitation show. It is not an imitation show. So by seeing the heroes, we imitate them. But life is not an imitation. Life should be prepared by yourself. So we can get some inspiration, but not imitation. So if your desire is so strong, how strong your desire is, so strong your future and success rates will be. So right from the beginning, we see some students concentrating only on one goal. So we have seen Abdul Kalam, right from his birth, he wanted to become an engineer. So that's why he went to Madras, he went to so-and-so colleges, and he did some research work and finally settled in his profession. Settling in some other professions is different from settling in the profession which you desire to become. It's so difficult. So opportunities may come or may not come. And hardships, we have to face the hardships in our life to settle in our desired profession or desired position. So that's why unless your desire is strong, unless your desire is burning, we can't do anything in your life. By sitting before a small flame, how can you expect some great heat? Because the sun is burning like that, it could able to give us so much of heat and energy. If your goal is to shine like a star, so this is also a wonderful definition of our Abdul Kalam ji. He said, if you desire to burn shine like a star, so everybody wants to become like stars. So I want to be a star in my profession. I want to shine like anything in my life. Of course, if it is an ordinary goal, if it is an ordinary design, you can't shine like that. So be prepared to burn like a sun. Burn like a sun, then only you can shine like a star in your life. So your desire should be a burning desire. A burning desire alone can make you a successful person. So here we are ending this lesson with a small poem. So with a small positive poem. So that will, after listening to this poem, we all can gain some positive changes in our mindset. So let us listen to it. If you think, so it is a clause. So this if you think depends on some other sentences. So what happens if I think? What will happen if I think? So how should I think? If you think. So if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think that you are beaten, if you think that you are defeated, so you will be defeated. So your opponents may not come and defeat you. You yourself will be defeated if you think that you are defeated, if you are beaten up. So you no need to fight and you no need to do anything with others. So your mindset will only make you to fight with others and get the victory. The thought of defeating, the thought of defeat itself is a defeat. So that's why in the 9th class poem, Rabindranath Tagore said that freedom from the fear is the freedom. So what is the real freedom for mankind? The real freedom for mankind is the freedom from your fear. So if you want real freedom, first of all you come out of your fears. So don't put any kind of fear in your mind. So what will happen? Suppose if I say some wrong things in this class. So if I fear about my wrongs, if I fear about my mistakes, what others think about it, what my elders think about it, what my students think about it. If I go on feeling fear about my fears, so I can't get on my life. So I may do some mistakes. So if I do some mistakes, if anybody rectifies my mistakes, I am ready to learn them. But I won't get fear. If I feel fear, I can't stand like this and explain the lessons. If you feel fear, you can't write your exams and get the successful ranks. So why do you put fear? What happens if you make some mistakes? The sky is not going to fall on the ground and we are not going to get any problems in our life. So defeat is nothing but your thought. If you think that you are defeated, that's the end of your life. So never think in a negative way. If you think you dare not, you don't. Dare not. So I can't dare to attempt this one. If you are always trying to escape from your life, escape from your exams, escape from your problems, escape from this thing and escape from that thing, how long you can escape from the life tests? How long? Today you can escape, and what about tomorrow? So today you may escape from this problem. So tomorrow you may have to face the problems of this day and that day's problem also. So if you think you dare not, you don't. So always dare, challenge, and so try to encourage yourself to face the challenges. So your life is yours. Others are not coming to share your problems. So as a teacher, I can give some suggestions. So I may give you some guidelines. But ultimately it is you who should write the exams and get the pass marks. So I am not going to come and write you. So at that time you should make some daring steps to do some achievements in your life. So if you like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch you won't. So you want to get success. So success, I want some good marks, I want some success, I want to get a trophy, I want to get a prize in the elocution competition. So you want success, but at the same time, your mind is thinking in a negative way, I can't. So you want to win, but think you can't, I can't stand. So I want to deliver an excellent speech, but I can't stand before the audience. The thought of I can't will give you some disappointment and will not allow you to stand and do your things. So it is almost a cinch you won't. Cinch means certain. It is certain that you can't do it. So when you get the thought of I can't, can I is a doubt. Can I stand? Can I speak? So if you get that kind of thoughts in your mind, you can't do anything. It is definite, cinch. It is certain. If you think you will lose, you are lost. So all these are the negative ideas we are going to get in our brain. So everything is within you. Again, Swami Vivekananda's quotation. Everything is within you. So before believing God, before keeping faith on God, first of all you put faith on yourself. Arise and stop not till you reach the goal. Stop not till you reach the goal. Arise, awake, my dear citizen of India, my dear students. So you should all arise. You understand your abilities. You understand your capacity. Arise and awake. Open your mind and see the world, how others are doing. So why can't you do? When others can do it, why can't I do it? So this kind of abilities we are possessing in our life. Yes, definitely I can do it. But if you think you can't, so definitely you can't do anything in your life. So far out in the world we find success begins with a fellow's will. So just I explained you. So if you open your eyes and look at the world, so when somebody is getting success, for out in the world we find, outside the world, we find many people getting success. So what is the secret of success? The success remains within you. The success begins with you, with your willpower. Where there is a will, there is a way. If you have that commitment, if you have that sincerity in your work, if you are prepared to work hard, ultimately success will be with you. So you no need to think about the success. So success is yours when you possess all these qualities. So success begins with a fellow's will. It is all in the state of mind. Where do you get that willpower? Where is that willpower? Where is that courage? Where is that daringness? So everything is within you. So the same concept we find in Bhagavad Gita also. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, so Arjuna left all his weapons and sat on the ground crying. So then Arjuna came, Krishna came, approached him and said, so you should do your work. If you won't do war, Kauravas will do war and they kill you. So if you sit like that, will Kauravas fold their hands and stand like that? So they do their war and they definitely kill you, and the elders will never appreciate you. Then elders will never appreciate you. So elders will appreciate only the person who is ready to put his efforts with commitment. So success begins with the fellow's will, and where do you get that will? The will begins from your mind. So it is the state of mind, the condition of your mind. If you want in a positive way, you can think it. If you want a negative way, you can also do it. But we always think in a positive way. So if you think you are outclassed, you are. So be far from others. So if you think that you are superior to others, so you can. That depends on your state. So if you think I am superior, I can do it, I can achieve it, so you can achieve it. You have got to think high to rise. So aim high. Many times I explained this point to you. So always aim high. Sky is the limit. So when you try to touch the stars, at least you can reach the ceiling level. So when your targets are higher, so we should also try to do something higher things in our life. So you have got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. So first of all, before you can ever win a prize, before getting the prizes. So prizes are not important. Prizes may come or may not come, but be sure that you have got to be sure of yourself. So you should be sure of your talents, you should be sure of your confidence, you should be sure of your achievements. So when you are sure, when you have that willpower, prizes, achievements, success, so all these things will be at you. So life's battle does not always go. So to the stronger and faster one. So we feel that only the strong people, only the faster people can achieve the success. But life is not like that. Even the weaker persons may also get success. So life's battle does not always go. Sometimes the strong persons may win. But if you have that skill, ability, achievement, we can also get success. But sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Who is the winner? Man who thinks that he can win or achieve the results is the real achiever. So who can win? A person who is always thinking in a positive way will be the winners. So with this, I end up this class. So once you all go through the lessons and try to understand the concept and understand the lesson. So until then, you stay home and be happy.